Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. I'm your host, Angie, and today we're going to be taking a look at the fabrics we created yesterday. So, yesterday we dyed 3 fabrics. We're continuing with the analogous color schemes with the Itajime technique, folding our fabric into a flag fold. So, yesterday I showed you how to fold a flat fabric, and we also dyed the 3 pieces of fabric. So now, today, I am going to show you those 3 pieces of fabric. They've all been rinsed out and dried and pressed. So let's switch over to the overhead camera and I'm going to show you what those 3 pieces of fabric look like. So here we are. Let me get them into view for you. So this first piece of fabric, this was the piece we dyed yesterday, and I used all 3 of the colors on this piece. As you can see, I have green, you can see the blue-green here, and the blue. Now with the blue, I added a little bit of gray to tone the color down, and to my eye, it shifted it a little bit towards purple, but that just may be my eye. Now you can see the fold. We have the fold here, our flag fold, and this was clamped with a thin piece of wood like this, and that provided the resist area. And because of the way the fabric is folded, you get this repeating design. Now the flag fold, it gives you an 8-sided repeating design. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to be consistent across all flag folds, no matter what you clamp them with. So again, I like the way the fabric or the dye leads along the edges of the fabric. And when I clamped this, I really didn't have 3 distinct areas to apply the dye to. I applied the blue here at the tip, at one tip, the blue-green here, and the green here. So the colors kind of all bleed together. But that's one thing I really like about this technique and about this process. So this is fabric number 1. And let's now take a look at fabric number 2. Again, we're using the same colors, but you can see how different they look. These are the exact same colors. On this one, I toned down the blue-green, I think it was. I know it's actually the green. I toned down the green with the gray. So the green, which is the smallest amount here, has been toned down just a little bit. And this is the piece that I used to clamp it with. And it was placed like this with the green here, the blue-green here, and the blue in this corner. So you can see how we get a totally different pattern, but it's still 8 sides. Our blue in the middle forms the largest pattern, and it's right smack in the middle here. So it's the most prominent. Our blue-green um, creates a smaller pattern off to the side, and our little bit of green here is the smallest amount of pattern. Get the last one. Again, the same colors, but by placing them in different proportions and clamping them differently, you get a whole different look. Exact same pattern or exact same colors, but a whole different look. Again, an 8-sided pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But this one is arranged more in my eye as in a square. So this one was clamped with this triangular piece of ceramic tile. Here's our fold, clamped like, let's see. So if the fabric was folded here, it was clamped like this. It was clamped like this. One color here, one color here, and the other color here. Now on this one, you don't see that looks like the blue-green. To me, the blue-green is definitely been taken over by the green. I could see a little bit in here, but not a whole lot. I still like these that's formed when the dye is on the folds of the fabric. So let's put them all together here and see what they look like. So number one and number two and number three. And as far as which one is my favorite, this is a little hard for me because these are not my colors. And probably green is one of my least favorite colors along with purple. So, but let's see. I think I'm going to say number two because I like the prominent um, pattern here in the middle. This one, it just really doesn't do anything for me, number three. But I like the patterning I'm getting with number two. So I've got this prominent design in the middle, a smaller design off to the side, and a little bitty design down here. This one is good, but again, this one looks more like a watercolor. And I suppose if that's what you like, that's great. But I do like kind of, at least on a couple of these, how we got this fractured design here in the middle with these little arrow looking pieces. So those are the three pieces from yesterday. Um, each one is very different from the other. The proportion of the color is very different. So what I like about doing these experiments and these dyes tests is you get to see what the fabric, the dye, and the folding of the fabric can achieve. It can be totally different from one session to the next. So this is not an exact process. If you get something that you like the first time, you may not get it exactly that way again. But you can use the piece of fabric that you like to analyze and break down what you did and how you achieved it, and try to go ahead and get that same look or as close to that same look as you possibly can. So that's it for today. Very short and sweet. I don't like to drag things out just to keep you here, but I hope you like the fabrics that we dyed yesterday. And if you do, let me know in the comments on the replay which one you like best. Which is your favorite? Do you like number one or number two or number three? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for joining me today. I hope to see you back here next week for our live stream on Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you haven't already, go back and watch some of the previous live streams. There's a lot of great information in those, something that I think you'll be able to take and use in your studio. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.